This one more time. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Hopefully you all can come over to this last video, and hopefully my software gives me another 7 to 10 minutes. We're talking about how the roller coaster week has an interesting highlight on Wednesday, maybe a light wintry mix very early possible, especially northwest of town. And on Thursday, we flip the page just one day forward, and we could see some thunderstorms, some of which could be strong. So make sure we are geared up, everyone be weather aware Wednesday into Thursday, especially this week, as we have tumultuous weather kind of heading our way. It flips from winter to almost early summer, and there's already flagged by the Storm Prediction Center a 15% chance of strong to severe storms. Again, the main threat being damaging wind gusts over 58 miles per hour. So we'll keep you posted at CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're there anytime you need us 24/7. And again, highlighting the wintry, very light wintry mix threat. Late Tuesday night, very early Wednesday morning. It should melt as we get into Wednesday morning with the strong sunshine this time of year. I don't foresee many problems on the roads. And again, main threat there in the shaded gray, well west and northwest of town. Again, west of 95 has the better chance of seeing a wintry mix, and northern Maryland also has another higher chance of seeing a wintry mix. But impacts are very limited around town on the interstates, even along I-81 for the most part. All right, so let us review what we have here for you. I'm going to go through things really quick. And thanks, Kristen, for welcoming me back. Hope you were okay. Thanks for finding me over here. Roller coaster week ahead. We've got blustery conditions, very chilly tomorrow. Wind chills, we'll highlight that in a moment. Could be in the teens and 20s, Monday morning and Tuesday morning. Then we see some sunshine and calmer conditions on Tuesday. Wednesday, very, very early before dawn, mostly light wintry mix possible, but temperatures are warming as a warm front does come through. So little, if any, accumulation west of 95, if at all, is expected. Then you flip the page on Thursday, as we're highlighting here in this. We flip from kind of winter to spring with thunderstorms possible on Thursday, some of which of these storms could be strong to severe, the main threat being damaging wind gusts at 58 miles per hour. And then Friday, we hopefully calm down a little bit. Yes, blustery conditions are possible yet again. It is still end of March into early April, so wind is not out of the question. And then hopefully the weekend we can settle down just a little bit with kind of near to around average temperatures, which you might ask for this week, around 60 degrees, rising to 63 by next week for an average high temperature. So keep that in mind when we talk about what averages this time of year. All right, so here it is, the wintry mix threat, very light and mainly northwest of town, early Wednesday morning. The local office of the National Weather Service is keeping the threats west of 95, and it really should stay well northwest of town. So just highlighting this, you could see some light wintry mix even along I-95, but roads should be fine on Wednesday morning. The sun will come out and melt things pretty quickly if any grass accumulation did even occur. And again, snow maybe at the higher elevations. What type of precipitation? We're thinking maybe sleet, maybe freezing rain, maybe some snow pellets. This is not a big event, but it is getting a little more rare, a little more surprising as we get toward the end of March. So just want to highlight, you might see some wintry precipitation, but little if any accumulation. You have to go way west and northwest of town in the higher elevations to see much road accumulation, if any. And here's the impacts in the light shaded gray, well west and northwest of town, and the higher elevations up near Winchester and thereabouts. So then we flip the page one day and see some storms on the horizon Thursday. After our morning wintry mix potential on Wednesday morning, we go Thursday afternoon and evening. Thunderstorms are possible, some of which could be severe. The Storm Prediction Center is thinking a 15% chance already of seeing some damaging wind gusts in some of these storms on Thursday. So let's move onward and talk about kind of the rest of the time here. We've got sunset getting later and later. I'm Camden Walker for these weekly Sunday sunset chats. My software continues to be upgraded. Reliability will get better in the coming weeks, and I can't wait to be on the air for a solid 20 minutes as usual. But I'm right now simulcasting to you on YouTube, on Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you follow us on all 3 of our social media platforms. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Winds continue tomorrow in the red areas around the Potomac Highlands and DC. Above 35 miles per hour is possible. Wind chills, here they are, maybe in the 20s, and maybe waking up to some teens along the I-81 corridor. Tuesday morning, maybe a little worse. The winds are slowly calming down, but temperatures, we could set a few records outside the Beltway. Monday morning and Tuesday morning, Teens are possibly widespread when you first wake up on Tuesday morning as well, so please don't put that winter gear away just yet. Rainfall amounts this week, a little bit light in the mid-Atlantic, kind of staying higher over the ocean and parts of the southeast and even up near Chicago. But we could see with these storms maybe a third of an inch or even 2/3 of an inch of rain come Thursday into Thursday evening when we see some heavy downpours possible, and we could use these rain amounts. We are a little bit dry around the region. The yellow indicates abnormally dry here on the drought monitor, and we have some orange shading popping up along coastal areas and even around Baltimore. We have just a little bit of drought. The first level of drought is happening, but we're much better shape than the western United States, the Intermountain West, the Rockies. So we're doing generally okay around here, but gardeners, as you're planting things slowly, since we could have another cold snap next week, moisture is a little bit limited in some of the topsoil, so keep that in mind. What else do we have on capitalweathergang.com? We have the latest on the Antarctica ice shelf breaking off at CWG.news/Antarctica, and the latest on the fires and heat out west at CWG.news/HotWest. Now, pollen is getting going, and we could see more of that continue through the weekend. Here it is, the Saturday preview. We could see 60s again this weekend. Hopefully the wind should stay settled down. Rain chances kind of hold off till Sunday night. But if you're thinking you have some sneezing going on, yep, trees you are allergic to, just like I am. So far, we have a little bit of mold and mildew and spores, but weeds are holding off. Grass is holding off, I think. Mainly a tree time of year, and it is going to probably at times be high this week, as you do see kind of the winds blowing it around. And we do have some warmer conditions coming this week after one more wintry day tomorrow with cold wind chills, maybe even Monday morning and Tuesday morning. And then we warm up slowly but surely Tuesday afternoon into the rest of the week, much warmer. So pollen will be hanging around. Next week, let's look ahead where the average, we warm up to 63 degrees for an average high temperature, but we could be a little bit below that. The chances are, probability is saying we have a slight to moderate chance of being below average again next week. So that's why gardeners, especially if you're not in a red area, if you're in a yellow area or green area, please hang off on planting those sensitive plants in the soil permanently, because we maybe in a potted plant is okay. With this cold snap next week, you might want to bring them in. If we do see some sub-freezing conditions, I think inside the Beltway, down near Richmond, there's areas in the red here where it indicates the average date of last freeze or frost is March 31st. You should be okay there in the red. But it's going to be close with some of these yellow shadings and the yellow for indicating April frost or freeze is possible. It could happen next week. That's why I wanted to highlight we could see another cold snap next week as well. This is looking ahead to next work week. Yes, our average low temperature at DCA Airport right there on the Potomac should be up to 44 degrees this time of year, but we could see another cool snap. And even downtown could be in the 30s. I don't think freezing is on the table, but we'll keep an eye on it at capitalweathergang.com. And again, if you're in the yellow or green areas, please think carefully before planting those sensitive plants in the ground permanently. Keep them in pots so you can bring them in. Red areas, you should be okay. Downtown should be able to stay above freezing for the rest of the year. Precipitation next week, just a quick preview. We have a slight chance, probably of being above average, a little wetter than average next week as well. All right, let's highlight things for you. It's a tumultuous week, very wintry, very cold. One more day tomorrow. Windy again on Thursday and Friday, and a little wintry mix possible very early on Wednesday morning. Flip the page a day into Thursday. We could see strong to severe storms. So we have a lot going on this week, and we'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. We're there anytime you need us, and the latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And again, here's the interesting part. Light wintry mix Wednesday goes to maybe storms on Thursday. Renee was supposed to get rain today, but no such luck. I'm sorry you did not see the rain that you wanted or expected. Ruth and Lisa, thank you for welcoming back. And David, yep, I am glad to be back. And Christine, Christine is going to get back out her scarves, her gloves, and she has some chattering going on. Indeed, tomorrow is one more wintry day, so expect another taste of that winter gear needed tomorrow. Some clouds are possible. Wind could be whipping. Let's look at that. The average should be this time of year around 60 degrees, but we're not going to be near that quite until maybe Thursday or so. So here we are for wind gusts tomorrow. 30-35 miles per hour can't be ruled out, especially in the red there along the Potomac Highlands and the coastal areas up to Philadelphia as well. Could be over 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That produces wind chills tomorrow, teens and 20s. Could be a little bit worse on Tuesday morning. Could see more widespread teens for the feels like temperature, but at least winds are settling down and we rebound fairly substantially by the middle part of the day into Tuesday afternoon. But a couple of record lows outside the Beltway are possible Monday morning and Tuesday morning as well. Let's see, what else do I have for you on the blog? Make sure you check out the latest on the Antarctic ice shelf breaking off at CWG.news/Antarctica. And here we have an update for you on the western heat and fires at CWG.news/HotWest. Stephanie says bring on more snow. And Charlene and Preston, thanks for tuning in. And we can go over the pollen in a second as well. Here we are. We've got high tree pollen. It could continue through the weekend. More 60s are possible here. This is your sneak preview for Saturday. We could see some more 60s. So trees are high, and if you are feeling it, you are definitely allergic to trees. So far, mold is kind of behaving itself, the spores of mold and mildew. So that's some good news. But again, this weekend could be near or around average, which is kind of in the around 60, maybe low 60s. And hopefully settling down just a little bit in the weather department until the next rain chance on Sunday night or so. And Rodney, thanks for tuning in. Well, you want some calmer winds and longer warm stretches. It is quite a feat this week. You're not going to really see that. We've got maybe some calmer moments Tuesday and maybe Wednesday, but the wind is back with us on Thursday and Friday. And again, let's highlight that we flip from the light wintry mix potential, especially northwest of town, early Wednesday, to storms on Thursday. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Let's dive inward more onto this threat, mainly west of I-95, northwest of town in the higher elevations. We have this wintry mix here in the blue Tuesday, very late night into early Wednesday. This warm front way south of town is what is triggering it. And so I want you to keep that in mind. It's not going to be a long period of wintry mix at all. The warm weather, the warmer temperatures do arrive into Wednesday morning. So with sunshine, any grass, let alone road patches of some snow or slush, should melt pretty darn quickly. The National Weather Service is not even concerned along and east of I-95. Really, it's looking like it's going to stay in the higher elevations west and northwest of town. Mainly a sleet, maybe freezing rain, very briefly event, maybe some snow pellets. It's looking like a wintry mix, and it's not going to accumulate much, if at all, but we'll keep you posted, of course, as we get closer. And the winter storm impact scale has only limited impacts well west and northwest of town there in kind of the bluish gray tint, as you see. So around town, around 95, even most of I-81 should be in pretty good shape, but it's worth highlighting because we flip the season over one day later, Thursday. Here's some thunderstorms on the simulated radar view for you. And some of these storms could be strong to severe, the main threat being gusty, damaging winds at or above 58 miles an hour. The Storm Prediction Center here highlighting that threat many days in advance. So we have something we need to watch for Thursday indeed. We will keep you posted, of course, at capitalweathergang.com as we get closer. All right, here is one last view before I go, since I think I've put together a 20-minute simulcast broadcast for you on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook between my two videos. So it is a topsy-turvy week. We start with winter, then we go to kind of early summer on Thursday with some thunderstorms. After, again, one last little wintry mix threat early Wednesday morning. Stephanie, you might like that if you say bring on more snow. Make sure you wake up early on Wednesday morning, maybe before dawn, and see what you can see. And we've got Scott. How much rain is expected overall for Thursday? That's the main rain day. Indeed, 1/3 of an inch to maybe 2/3 of an inch is expected this week, and most of that should fall on Thursday into Thursday night. So I hope that helps. We could use it for sure. We are abnormally dry in the yellow throughout the region. A couple spots here in the orange have reached the first level of drought. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Hello. And we've got David. You had a good weekend with the Kite Festival. I'm very happy you could cash in on those winds this weekend. We have one more windy day tomorrow. Gusts could be at or above 30, 35 miles per hour, especially there in the red shading around town in the Chesapeake Bay. And Julia says no more snow. I'm sorry to report we could see a little bit on Wednesday morning, especially west and northwest of town. Our average high temperature should be near and around 60 degrees, but we are going to stay below that for much of this week. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And again, Wednesday early morning before dawn, it looks like is the timing. Very light wintry mix, mainly staying west of I-95, and accumulation stays well west and northwest of town, but you might see it. It might be falling, even if it's above freezing around the Beltway. I don't want you to be surprised how that is going to flip over then to storms on Thursday. It's quite a tumultuous week, a weather roller coaster, if you will. And that we need to wait until April to get some of that calmer weather back. That's a great point. We definitely are paying our dues this week with some up and down weather and very active weather. And Rodney says we get all 4 seasons this week, pretty much. That's a great way to think about it. Excellent. And grapple is possible, David, on early Wednesday morning again as well. That's our snow pellets or favorite precipitation of DC tumultuous atmosphere this time of year, where it's cold aloft and still a little bit warm at the surface, and those partially melted snowflakes make their way to the ground. Thanks, Rebecca. That's most nice. I like those tulip emojis as well. Hopefully we can get to a calmer spring pattern by the weekend, Friday into the weekend. And of course, anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Forecast here for you is the latest PM update at CWG.news/latest. You can go to these hyperlinks by touching on my face, popping above on your mobile device, or I think below on your mobile device and above on your desktop or laptop. You'll see all the links we talked about, including the latest on Antarctica at CWG.news/Antarctica, and the fires out west at CWG.news/HotWest. We will see you next Sunday. I will be even more stable with this broadcast, and the software will continue to get better. And the severe threat Brook Thursday we are watching, we do have at least a 15% chance of seeing some gusty, damaging winds with the storms on Thursday. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Cameron Walker, signing off. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Have a good, safe week, and wear all the layers